Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video into the Bitcoin space again because Bitcoin just got hacked, or at least that's what people are talking about, and a lot of people are falling to for some reason, thinking that Bitcoin got hacked. There has been news that the FBI got back a majority, about $2.3 million worth of the $4.4 million of the Colonial Pipeline hack or ransomware that the hackers put on it and made that ransomware bounty. And they paid that, and the FBI got back about half, a little over half, 2.3 million out of the 4.4 million. I guess at around half. But it's actually something great for Bitcoin, I would think. And a lot of people are misconstruing it and thinking that the FBI hacked Bitcoin and took the money back when it's just not the case at all. And people know how it actually happened. And there's an article that I really liked talking about the ways that the FBI actually got this Bitcoin. And we're going to go over that. But they basically just got it from they got the access to the private keys of the wallet. It was either on an exchange, and if it was on an exchange, then all they would have to do is subpoena the exchange to give them that private keys. Or if it was a wallet, its own wallet, then they got access to their like personal computer or emails that people sent, the hackers sent back and forth between each other, including the passphrase or the private keys to the wallet. So this is why everyone says, if not your keys, not your coins. So if you have all of your Bitcoin, all of your crypto on an exchange, then it's not yours because they could freeze it. In theory, especially if it's not a trustworthy exchange, they could just take it. Like we've seen in Turkey, some exchange took like $2 billion worth of crypto. It was crazy. But even on Coinbase, not your keys, not your coins. If you have your Bitcoin, any crypto on Coinbase, then Coinbase controls it. Meaning, if for some reason they wanted to stop you from sending Bitcoin or any crypto from Coinbase to another wallet, they can do that and they can freeze your account because Coinbase owns Coinbase. Obviously, it's centralized. So you're not really on the Bitcoin network because Coinbase controls it still. So just keep that in mind, and you should always have your private keys written down and never take a picture of them, never put them on your phone in notes, never email them, never put them in any piece of technology because this can happen. And maybe it's not the FBI, maybe you're not a criminal and the FBI is coming to get it, but it could be another hacker and go through your emails or go through some sort of your photos on your phone if you just took a picture of it, and they'll be able to see it and get your coins. So just a good lesson for everyone to learn to be safe with your crypto. So this is the article right here. I read part of it. It basically just says what I've summarized, like how they got it was going in and getting the private keys, but they don't know how they did it. So there's like theorized of ways that they did it. You can see here, officials likely got their private keys one of three ways. One possibility is that the FBI was tipped off by a person associated with the attack, either the person or group behind the scheme. I can't read. DOS says, or someone associated with DarkSide, a Russia-based ransomware developer that leases its malware to other criminals for a fee or a share of the proceeds. So that would basically mean that somebody involved in the scheme or somebody who was letting them use their ransomware, maybe they didn't pay or didn't split the profits with them, and they said, you know what, screw these guys, we're going to the FBI, here's the wallet address, here's the passphrase, take the coin. And that could have happened, and obviously one of the ways that people are theorizing, but how likely is it? I mean, if they didn't pay, I'd say pretty likely, but it's probably not, if they didn't pay, I think it's pretty likely, so we'll see. But that's one way. And then the second theory is the FBI uncovered the key thanks to a careless criminal. So Deputy FBI Director Paul Abbott said on Monday that the Bureau, oh God, am I saying that right? Has been investigating DarkSide since last year. DOS notes that it is possible for in their surveillance, officials may have had search warrants that enabled them to access the emails or other communication by one or more of the people who participated in the scheme. And through that, they were able to get access to the private keys because maybe somebody emailed something to help them track down. So that is the same thing that I was saying earlier. If you have your keys written down, but then you put them on an email to somebody to say, here's the wallet keys so that you can have access. That's now online. And it's not secure because obviously people can get access to your emails, whether it's the FBI or some random hacker or hacker group. They can get access to your emails, and if they can get your private keys, they own your coin. So that's why you keep your private keys offline no matter what, written down and in a secure place, and then that's it. You don't take pictures of them. You don't send it through emails. You don't write it down on your notes in your phone. You don't do anything. You leave it on the paper and make sure that it never sees technology so you can make sure your Bitcoin or any crypto is secure. And here it says, DOS says the third possibility is that the FBI tracked down the key by leveraging information it got from Bitcoin or from the cryptocurrency exchange where the money had been bouncing from one account to another since it was first paid. She says it's not known whether any of the exchanges have been willing to cooperate with the FBI or to respond to the agency's subpoenas, but if they are, it could be a game changer in fighting ransomware attacks. So that's basically saying things you said before, that the exchange worked with them, which if you're a hacker and you're using ransomware and doing all this types of stuff, I would think you'd be smart enough not to leave your crypto on an exchange, but maybe they weren't. Maybe they're dumb criminals, and they decided to leave it on an exchange and wait for the price to go up, and then they realize that they don't actually own the private keys on the exchange, and the exchange just froze them out and then handed the money back to the rightful owners. So, and then the last thing I want to read from this, because it lets everybody know that Bitcoin itself was not hacked, the network wasn't hacked, the FBI didn't hack the Bitcoin network and take those Bitcoin from wherever they were and take them back. That didn't happen. It says what's not likely is that the FBI somehow hacked the key on its own, according to DOS. While she admits it's theoretically possible, the idea that the FBI would have, through some sort of brute force decryption activity, figured out the private key seems to be the least likely scenario. So that actually doesn't cover what I thought I was going to do. But basically, Bitcoin network was not hacked. It was not. They didn't go into the network and switch around where Bitcoin was, and they didn't do a just brute force hack on try and guess the private keys. They didn't just guess the 12 word or 17 word, whatever, how many words it is, the private key and just get a lucky guess and eventually crack it, because that's not happening. Not in a month. You need a lot of time to be able to try and run enough things to crack the code like that, and that's why they're made like that. But neither of those are likely. So the integrity of the Bitcoin network, not even in question. It's all on the individual. So if you don't know what you're doing exactly with your private keys and you're putting them online, or you're not really storing them how you're supposed to, then you can put yourself in trouble. And that's what these hackers most likely did, is they either put their Bitcoin on an exchange like real idiots for some reason, or they probably sent the private phrase to each other in an email, which the FBI got into. Either they hacked into it themselves or somehow subpoenas or whatever. But that is probably what happened, is the FBI got it through them being careless about their passphrase and private keys. So Bitcoin was not hacked. And I think that this should be a good thing for Bitcoin, because it shows Bitcoin's not meant to be used for illicit activities. It's not meant to be used for illegal things. A lot of people, especially like Janet Yellen, the Fed, all these people like to say Bitcoin's used for illicit activity. It's used to buy drugs. It's the Silk Road. And that's just not the case, because it's not the best thing for that. The best thing is cash to do that, to be untraced. But Bitcoin is not the best thing to do ransomware attacks with, or criminal activity because it's a public ledger. Everybody can see, if everyone knows that the Colonial Pipeline sent this 67 Bitcoin, whatever it was, from this wallet to this wallet, they can track that. And now everywhere you send that, they can also track that. So Bitcoin's just not a good play if you're going to try and do something illegal. It's very easy to actually track it. So I thought this is a good thing for Bitcoin. I think the long term it'll be a good thing. The short term, people don't really understand Bitcoin and they think Bitcoin itself got hacked or something wrong happened. And obviously that's not the case. But I'm editing this video right now, and I'm seeing this tweet here saying the FBI didn't hack or seize Bitcoin. I mean, we all knew that. But they simply got a search warrant and found the physical computer used for the password or private keys to unlock the Bitcoin wallet of the hackers. So much more than likely, they went down a legal route with search warrants and subpoenas, and they didn't even do any like hacks to get like emails or something to get a private key. So they probably went down the legal route of doing this and going through subpoenas and warrants and not really hacking emails to find keys. So just a little interesting thing there. As always, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. You're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. See you guys in my next video.